Good morning. I should potentially change when my microphone gets turned on. Because currently my microphone activates after the slide-in animation finishes. Okay, set mute state. Not muted. Okay, so not muted, not muted. Stream countdown music muted. And then stream countdown music. Just stop. And then that's the fade in. Okay. Okay, now let us... Okay, where was test level? No, TSCN. Okay, let us test enemy inspector. Okay, so can never remember the syntax for this. Go.export syntax. Oh, to export. Okay, so test and okay, now if I go over to class entity, hey, nice. Okay, I was hoping that would be the case. Oh, it even tells you which specific class has this that it's inheriting from. That's cool. Okay. Now, I believe I can do something like this. Yes. Neat. Okay. What was the... Okay, so this is what was recommended. Expected closing bracket. Damage type. Not declared in current scope. Damage type is an enumerator. You need to declare it before you can use it. Oh. Oh, so I would create an enumerator for all of the damage types, and then for the defense dictionary, I would call from the enumerator. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, that also works. Fire neutral, new key. Add key value. One thing I don't like is it's automatically capitalizing the name of the variable. There isn't really a correct way to do this. Why new key, new value? Why is that there? I wouldn't do it like this because it'll be annoying to check every single damage type against every single defense type. Why would you check every single damage type against every single defense type? You would only ever check a given damage type against the defense value of that same type. So like in whatever the damage calculator is, oh, this attack has 17 fire damage, check self.defense.fire. I'm gonna go grab my water. Okay, water has water. Well, I mean, really all I'm trying to do is conveniently list a bunch of different types of damage. Like, how it's done doesn't really matter, so long as it's easy to access in the damage formula. You don't know what the damage type is before it gets to you. The way that I'm imagining that this will play out is you will have a given entity, they will have their specific attack code. That attack code will know its damage values. So you play the attack code, it runs the animation, the hitbox collides with something. It gets the damage values from the attack code, checks what the hitbox is colliding with, gets the defense values associated with the attack values, crunches the numbers, and then removes in a certain amount of health from the receiving target. So I don't see why you would have to iterate over every single damage type when the attack that is making contact knows specifically which damage types it is using. Export cannot be applied to a new name. Of course. Of course it can't. Let's assume you send another dictionary with 2 fire damage and 10 physical damage in the damage handler for the entity. You'll have to check the first one. What type is it? So you have to iterate over all the defenses to know which it uses? No, you don't. Okay, so if you send an attack that is 2 fire damage and 10 physical damage, then you would just pull the fire defense and the physical defense. The way it's set up right now is even if I don't set anything for that value, it defaults to 0. So, unless you assume an entity has all their defense. Yes, no. Every single entity will have every single defense. It's just, if I don't want it to have a defense, it will default to effectively no defense, so it'll take neutral damage. So it will always have a number to plug into the calculation. Because, like, if it takes less damage, it'll have, like, higher defense. And if I wanted to take more damage, I'll just throw in a negative number. But if it has 0, then it takes neutral damage. So yeah, I was imagining every single entity would have every single defense type. Even if it doesn't technically use it. I guess I wouldn't necessarily need to export this. Although I don't know if I need to make this into an enumerator. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so that's what those are for. If you make an enumerator, you'd put it in a separate file like class and load it every time you want to use it. Only advantage is that you can't make type it. Those. Oh, so. Oh, so like I would just make an enumerator of every single data type, and then if I wanted to call a specific instance of that, I would just call from the enumerator to autofill the key. Okay, I don't think that's going to be relevant for this particular use case, since it autofills for this. Huh. Can I not typeface this shit? Or type hint, rather? Could not resolve superclass inheritance. Hmm. In the enumerator, you would go enum damage types, blah blah blah, and then you can use damage types.fire, and it will autocomplete and do the same every time. Oh, okay. Okay, so an enumerator is useful for if you have a list of things that doesn't change, but you do need to reference frequently. Or whenever you do reference it, you want to be sure that it's exactly the same thing that you are referencing. Quite literally what enumerate means, count up all of the things. Count? I thought we were talking about spelling. An enumerator is just a list of things. Oh. Oh, okay. So it's just... That just sounds like an array with extra steps, though. Or even just a fucking dictionary. Identifier. Dictionaries and enumerators are closely related. parameters cannot be changed dynamically during runtime, and it doesn't save data in RAM at all. Okay. So an enumerator is exclusively a reference. It's like it just is a thing that exists that you can look at to grab data. Data that doesn't change ever. Go dodge enum syntax. Oh. Oh, you don't set the value in the enumerator. Before you hit run, every instance of damage types.fire would get deleted and replaced with a text or an integer, and then the code runs. Oh. Oh, so it's just a fancy way of listing a bunch of variables. Like every instance of thing is deleted and replaced with 5. So damage type.fire is just a fancy variable name. Listing a bunch of constants. Okay. Oh, well, I guess thing isn't deleted and replaced with 5 because you can always change the value of thing. Yeah, I was trying to do type checking here. I couldn't figure out how to. Because I don't remember if you can do multiple variable types inside of a dictionary. Type check, not... Oh, then I don't know what you're talking about. As in, is this of type rogue? How do you mean? Because, like, I'm able to check the current class name. Oh, so this was just something I copy-pasted for the syntax. It looks like you cannot set a default value for the enumerator. Or if you can, I don't know how to. If self.classType, assuming the variable class type exists. But that's just checking what that's just checking what a variable is. Why would that need a special name of type check? That's like just like that's just like saying, oh, if defense.typelist equals 15, run code. If Godot was stupid, class type could be a string and rogue is an integer. Well, what? When you say class type, are you talking about this arbitrary enumerator title? Or are you talking about like the actual class? Okay, then I'm completely lost. Why are you capitalizing? Stop capitalizing. Are these the same type? Oh, so absolutely nothing to do with anything we were talking about previously. Gotcha. That's why I was confused. That has nothing to do with enumerators at all. Okay, so that example that you just give, that makes sense. Yes, no, you should not be able to add a string to an integer. That is not how math do be mathing. Because I don't know if Godot does type checking with enumerators. Some languages don't. Oh, like it doesn't check what the variable type in the enumerator is before trying to process shit with it. Oh, okay. I can definitely see that becoming an issue. Type hit in dictionary. No. You can type in dictionaries for 4.4. I'm trying to find that. It doesn't exist yet. Oh, it was added recently? That would explain why the Reddit pages I'm finding does not list it. Dictionary, integer, string. Oh, okay. Integer, variant, integer. Okay. Okay, so export var name. Hey, nice. Although, slight annoyance, int is not capitalized, but string is capitalized. That bothers me. Vector 3. Why is some of the capital but others not? That's not consistent. I don't like it. No primitive is capitalized. Only structures / classes are capital. But they're variable types. Aren't they the same shit? String is not a primitive, it's a class. It's a list of characters. It's not that complicated. Says the guy who understands nothing. I guess vector 3 is a list of integers or floats. So, like, it is comprised of less complex variables. Hey, nice. I wonder if defense should be a float. I mean, it's effectively the same thing. It's just you either have a decimal or you have values that go into the hundreds. In earlier languages, strings didn't exist. It was literally just an array of characters. Oh, that sounds painful. Makes it a lot more difficult. You don't know the link to the string and other features that are useful. If it's just a list of characters and the last character. It's just a list of characters and the last character is a special character. That sounds very annoying. Modern languages use strings as a class, which... Okay, yeah, all the background information. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Really? You're gonna camel case all of my shit? This is fucking capital. Why are you not capital? String handling in languages that don't have strings as explicit type. Why the fuck would you not have a string as an explicit type? In like, I guess maybe in a scenario where you're just not dealing with words, like a calculator, perhaps. But yeah, no, I greatly disagree with this. Stop! Don't fucking change the name of my shit. The fuck? The fuck is this shit? I throw in a random capital and you're like, okay, gotta add a space. Go to what the fuck are you smoking? Leave my shit alone. I type in different. You should put it over here exactly as it's typed. Godot is the space capital of the universe. Oh, that's a funny joke. I like that. Unless you're meaning it like literally, because that's like something it's known for. I thought you were talking about like, uh, like location based humor. Because it adds a space. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, if we're going to be wanting these on every single thing, I should potentially move these variables just up into entity and then export everything. Although I guess for player's a special case. But having everything uniform would probably be smart. Okay, so we got defense. And then I damage type. That would be dependent on the specific attack. So I don't know if that would actually be like something that's stored or if it's just like when it runs whatever its attack is, like take damage or whatever, maybe it just passes in a damage type dynamically on a per attack basis. Just chuck a dictionary into the take damage. Okay, now I'm... You just send a dictionary of damage values. Oh. Oh, so like... Oh, so like regardless of what damage type the attack is doing, any damage type it doesn't use, you just fill in a 0. Don't fill it in at all. Doesn't it need to... Defense needs all of them, but the attack doesn't. Oh, so remove the integer and then have just a string integer dictionary. Oh, okay. Damage type. I guess so. Damage HP minus equal damage dictionary dot Oh, I'm gonna have to do like a for loop. And then like account for each thing. So for I in damage dictionary. Do, 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 do. HP minus string? That's not running an error. Damage display. Damage dictionary fire. Oh. And then not sure how to get the second value. Unless this way, hang on. I dot string damage dictionary fire gives the second. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to loop it so I don't have to manually account for each type permutation. Because damage dictionary I would return the first set of values, I believe. Or well, whatever the iteration is. I.int. Nope. You can only loop it if you have an enumerator or the key. Hmm? Why? What? Okay, I'm not following. Why would I not be able to loop a dictionary? That seems like something that would be very simple. A data type with a key and a type. If you go data type key, it gives you back the data at the given key. Yeah, I know. Or, well, I realize that now, rather. Your key is a string. But if I'm doing for I in the dictionary, the first loop should be the first instance in the dictionary. Because a dictionary is a list of multiple things. So this would be the 0th entry in the dictionary. This would be the first entry in the dictionary, and then the second entry in the dictionary. It's like an array of multiple shits. I removed the HTTP code. But damage dictionary isn't going to have anything unless I throw in something into take damage. Invalid type does not have the same element as the expect. The dictionary of argument 1 does not have the same element type as the expected type. What? It's a string and an integer. It's expecting a string and an integer. I should probably Disable the enemy position. Running every single frame. Okay, so it is only pulling the first thing. Get off of me. Okay, well that's just turning the string into an array. HP minus damage diction. Well, I mean, it's returning only the string. It's not returning the integer. Get off of me. And we access the data by accessing it with the key. But when I tried to print it, it didn't give me the integer. You print it, I contains the key. Oh. Wait, so if I, oh, okay. Wait, but then I could just have, like that. Wait. Oh. Okay. Okay, hang on. How would I access the key? Is that a thing that I can do? Like if I wanted to print the key? I is the key? Oh, I thought I was just an incrementing number. So it would be the 0th entry in this dictionary. The first entry in this dictionary. You did a for each loop? I is not. Okay, well that is stuff that I did not know. Okay. Okay, so you did I. This should work. Oh, string. Oh my goodness. Okay, so attack damage. Oh. Hooray! Hooray for misunderstandings, making everything much more complicated than they need to be. A Godot thing and not a universal coding thing? I've never seen a for each loop work on a dictionary. That's very odd. This seems like it would be an incredibly simple thing that you should just assume is going to be the case. A dictionary is just a list of things. You should be able to for loop through the entire list. Seems intuitive enough to me. A dictionary is not a linear piece of data. Yes, it is. It is a list of things. You have your first thing, your second thing, your third thing. Seems pretty linear to me. It's just a fancy array. It's hard to get the next entry from the first one. Oh, like how it's stored internally? It's not a fancy array. Looks like a fancy array to me. You have a list of things. An array is a list of things. To clarify, I am intentionally ignoring the back end of this. I'm just looking at how it's physically presented. But yeah, no, being able to loop a dictionary is super intuitive, and that should just be a standard in every language. Okay, well, that works. Okay, now HP minus equals minus I dot defense I for I in 7 leaps starts at 0, increases by 1. For I in dictionary, that means you start at a random key. There's a lot of magic. You don't start at a random key, you start at the first key. There's no first. Then why is it listed? Like, that's clearly the first value. How is it stored internally if it doesn't have a first? How does the dictionary know everything that's inside of it if it doesn't know everything that's inside of it? It uses the key. But this arbitrary string doesn't have an address value. Invalid access. Valid access to property or key fire. Dictionary string integer. Oh, right, okay. It doesn't correct. That's why there's magic in the background. Make it into a concrete address. That sounds so scuffed. You should just. That sounds so scuffed. Just have string, integer, pointer. String, integer, pointer. String, integer, pointer. Just fucking boop bop boop bop. You could use self 20? Huh? What do you mean by self 20? In the dictionary? Below the magic. How the fuck would that even work? Self isn't an identifier label. That's just the instance of the individual class / node. Hey. I guess. Negative 488, my favorite. Get the fuck off me! Okay, yeah. Player's definitely not turning around fast enough. Also, I think the player's getting, like, slightly stuck inside the enemy at some points. Actually, wait, no, just fucking... If damage is less than 0, pass. Or... Would pass end the entire process, or would it just end the current loop? Apparently it doesn't do either. Pass equals do nothing? Oh. Okay, well, break just... Okay, well, break and return both shit the bed. If damage is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, I just want it to skip the current iteration in the for loop. Oh. Continue? Okay, there we go. Although that's not intuitive in the slightest, because continue makes me think it's just going to keep going on. That's poor syntax. I don't like that. Okay, so that's the, Actually, hang on. I should also probably do if I not in self.defense continue. So that way, if someone tries to use a damage type that just doesn't exist in here, it'll also just skip it. Hey, I am super smart. Okay, so if the damage type doesn't exist, continue. Calculate the damage. If the damage is less than 0, continue. And then, if it made it past both of those, actually calculate and take away the health and shit. Damage display. Oh, that's its own class. Oh, fuck off, bot. Although I would like to change the color based on the damage type. That feels like a type of thing that I would want to do. Screenshot? Did you just use a dictionary as a key in another dictionary? That feels recursive. Why the fuck are you allowed to use anything as a key? Why do you care? It works not what's... No. No, that is not how that works. I care because I don't understand it, and I want to understand it. Quote unquote, it works. That's not the only thing that matters. Also, Godot, get rid of these fucking trailing white spaces. Nobody wants trailing white spaces. Godot, remove trailing white space. Trim all white spaces. To explain how it would take a semester of lectures. That seems excessive. I mean, it's just a single variable type. How complicated could it possibly be? Hello, Steamfunk. Okay, so I just found a Godot 3.5 bug report where someone reported that trim trailing white space on save removed, like, say there's this tab here, it removes this, and they reported that as a bug. No, that's explicitly what trim trailing white space is supposed to do. Turning any arbitrary thing into a reliable definitive address is surely... Yeah, they do it... It's an array. You just do what the array does. Because this is just a list of variable arrays. You have an array with 2 values, and then a pointer to the second array with 2 values, and then a pointer to the next, and a pointer to the next. Where the fuck is trim trailing white space? What you're talking about is a linked list? That works. A dictionary is not a linked list. Oh. Oh, okay. Go dot how to remove trailing white space on save. How the fuck do I enable trim trailing what? Yeah, how the fuck do I enable it? People are talking about it, but they don't tell me how to enable it. Editor settings. There we fucking go. Oh, it's beautiful. Fucking hell. That should be enabled by default. What the fuck? Okay. Would a linked list be recommended over a dictionary? Or does it not matter? A dictionary's a million times faster. Okay. Actually, maybe if there isn't a defense type, maybe it should just continue. It can fucking continue. It should just keep going and then just deal full damage as if you did have 0 defense. So if I in self-defense, so if it's in, run this, else, run this. Oh, but fucking damage is calculated up here. Hmm. Because I realized that having every single entity possess every single defense type could potentially start getting bloaty, especially if like there. I could imagine scenarios where there's like specific enemies that have unique damage types. So then that would just be like over the course of all the enemy types, that would be like an extra like maybe like 2 to 5 unique damage types. So for the hundreds of other enemies, that's just going to be just nothing. It's going to be empty data that's just taking up space. So maybe it would be better for each individual enemy to only have the defenses it actually has, and then in the damage calculator, check if that defense exists, and if it doesn't exist, then you just treat it as if it was 0. If the attack has a key that doesn't exist, use the default. Yeah, but putting the dictionary into entity. Wait, does having the dictionary in entity cause like that would still cause every single enemy to still store the dictionary because they all have their own copy of the dictionary. Because it still has to store all the integer values. So if I wanted to have that default value so I don't have a bunch of duplicate zeros, I would not be able to put the dictionary into entity. I would have to do that on a per enemy basis. Well, per enemy type, rather. So I would have to like just take this over to the enemy thing. I would keep it an entity. Oh yeah, I could just have an empty dictionary, but then in enemy I could append it. Right, so you can change it with the export on the right. No, I know you have the export on the right. The issue I was trying to avoid is like say there's like a particularly rare damage type, like electricity. Let's say electricity is super rare, and there's only 2 enemies that have defense for electricity, and every other enemy has 0. Those enemies don't need that entry in their dictionary, because that's just taking up space. And over the course of like hundreds of enemies across the entire map, like that's going to be file size adding up. So, like, this is convenient, but I was trying to avoid buildup. Only add default 0 in the dictionary in entity, and you can append it for every enemy individually. Wait, export would still function with that? Okay, I don't know how to append to a dictionary. Go.append to dictionary. Doop-a-doop-boop. Doop-a-doop-boop. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop-boop. How the heck do I append to the dictionary with all of the data? Doop-a-doop-doo-doo. Hello, dwarf. Good morning. Go dot. How do I append your dictionary? You can also append through the... True. I can do that. But if I do it through the export, that's on a per enemy instance. I think. Unless I... Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boo. If I go here... New key... Physical... Okay, so then if I go back to test level... Okay. Okay, so if I modify the original, all of the prefabs get updated. Considering you want it to be unique for the individual enemy. No. I don't want it to be unique for the individual enemy. I want it to be unique for the individual enemy type. But also, if I do it through here, that runs the risk of me mistyping something. Although it would be very funny if there was a random enemy that just had, like, physical defense, but I mistyped it, so they actually have 0 physical defense. Arbitrary change to a scene can be saved and loaded again. What are you talking about? Just make tankier and have a higher default defense? Or I can just not make typos. I can make an enumerator of every single damage type. But I don't want to just rely on the default defense, because I want to, like, if I'm designing enemies to be resistant to specific things, they should be resistant to specific things. If you place a new player object in a scene, then change something in the export, then save that scene, the player in that scene is permanently changed. The prefab is still the same, but the scene player is... Yeah, no, the instance can be changed and modified. But I think if you change the original, it still updates every single instance, unless you, like, separate it and turn it into its own unique thing. And then it's no longer linked to the original prefab. That's why the prefab works. You change the test enemy, and every place where you load the prefab loads the scene with the new changes. Yes. Yeah, I know how prefabs work. You have the original, and then you have a bunch of copy pastes. You modify the original, and it propagates down the line. If you change it in the prefab, then all enemy types of the prefab will have the same dictionary. The thing you were worried about. No. The thing that I'm worried about is if I edit the original prefab and mistype the name of the defense, the name of the damage type, then every single instance of that enemy will also have the non-existent defense that doesn't get used for anything. And then the actual defense type, the actual damage type, will just go through in full because it didn't find a valid defense type. Right now, I'm just trying to find how to append to a dictionary because like, is it just a dot append? No, you lied to me. Internet, why would you lie to me? Unexpected identifier defense. What the fuck you mean unexpected? Defense is a thing that it has. You append the same way you declare it? I thought I tried that. Yeah, unexpected identifier defense. Is it called defense? Yeah, no, the dictionary is called defense. That's how it works in. Yeah, no. I'm finding people that are cooperating what you're saying. Maybe it just doesn't work cross script. Unexpected identifier defense. Maybe it doesn't work with the export. I wouldn't think that the export would matter. Yeah, because it's still a valid variable. To add a key to an existing dictionary, access it like an existing key and assign to it. It just dictionary key equals value. Try with set. It looks like the issue is defense itself. Okay, well that works. Maybe it just doesn't like me doing it outside of a function? You can only declare variables and functions in the outside of a class. Okay. Okay, so it looks like applying a new thing to the dictionary does not get exported. You don't need to export the individual. I was exporting it again. Why? Fuck. Why do you have physical? Oh, right. Fucking this asshole. I was trying to export it again to see if I could get it to export the new defense type, but it looks like it does not. So even if I were to use enumerators, I don't think they would get added to this. So looks like it might be to just modify the original and then just double check your spelling. You'll see it while it runs. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I can see it while it runs. I edit the shit before it runs. And the player doesn't see any of it. Be able to use enumerators in the exports menu. Okay, well, let's give it a shot. So, go dot enumerator. Okay. So damage type dot null. Okay, well that did not throw an error. Default. Defense. Go dot use enum in export menu. Export cannot be applied to an enumerator. Oh, hang on. Export enumerator requires at least one arguments with 0 were given. Export property as an enumerated list of options. Hmm. There's something I can do something like that. That gives me a drop-down menu. Although I don't think that's what I want. Although very weird that they have to give it a special character name thing rather than just making it supported by base export. Although this doesn't display the number in here in an editable format. Cannot get index 0 from... The fuck you mean? String. Should be string, but is entity.damage type. Hmm. I suppose... I suppose I could make the enumerator of all of the valid damage types, and then in the entity class, on like init or ready or something, check the listed defense types, and then if any of them don't match, throw an error. Let me check if Godot has exception handling. Of course it has exception handling. It's called an if statement. If bad thing happen, scream and panic. No, but just check all of the current defense types, and if any of them are not in the list of the enumerator, print fuck. Print your message. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. That's how you check for errors. Exception handling is a different kind of worms. Sounds complicated. I think I'm just gonna stick to 50,000 print. Because, I mean, it works. You just shove a print. Oh, the print didn't go through. Something's broken. Okay. Oh, that wasn't a typo. You actually meant to type printer. Prints one or more arguments to strings in the best way possible to standard error line. Print raw. Here's an idea. How about you just let me print and then fucking color code it myself? Okay, so enumerator damage types, and then if on function ready, if for I in defense, if I not in damage types, print fuck. Okay, so then if I go over to okay, so then over here in enemy, defense thing equals 50. Self has defense type of default, which is invalid, and thing, which is invalid. Okay. It's really relaxing. You can just listen to you make your game. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad positivity is being exuded. I'm glad you are enjoying. Yeah, I'm also enjoying learning stuff. Like right now, I don't think this really qualifies as a game, but hopefully one day it will. Null equals null. What about null? Not strings? No. This is a string. Default? Default. The only invalid thing is thing. There we go. Enumerators must be integers? Well, clearly it doesn't have to. Either that or Godot is just accounting for what the name of the value is. Because this is working. It is registering default as a valid thing that is defense in damage type. Zero. Maybe the enumerator treats it as a dictionary, and then the 0 is the key, but this is the actual value. No clue how the backend is working, but it's clearly working. This definitely shouldn't work. Maybe Godot just has just like a catch in the background, like a specific. It's programmed in like if you're looping in a numerator, it checks both the value and the name, just to support this functionality. Invalid integer, string integer. Can I give index 0 from 2? Your dictionary is type hinted as string. So just use the enumerator everywhere. Where the fuck's my dictionary type hinted? I mean, the enumerator is a fucking string. Enumerator is an integer. Test enemy has defense type of 2, which is invalid. Okay, well, this is not registering as the string that I named it. Oh? Aww. This doesn't work anymore. Boo. Ooh. Okay, how to get the string? Okay, okay, so dot keys. Hmm. Okay, fine. Default physical 0. Okay, so this worked. Okay, wait, if I remove you, default and 0. Why is there a 0? Default has a value of 0. Physical. Default to 0. Do I have another print somewhere that is printing 0? Is it you? No. For I in defense. Huh. Okay, well, this definitively does work. I just have to go and get the damage type ID every time I want to input it. It's just not autofill able. Definitely not possible to typo unless I just assign the incorrect damage type entirely. Yeah, what I'm seeing from like everyone is like this. That's not code, that was just message comment. So you have the enumerator, set a variable to just one of them, and then you get the key. So I suppose if I wanted to be doubly sure that I did not typo, I could go var enum type equals damage damage types dot physical, and then I could do this, and that would it would take an extra line, but it would ensure that presumably I do not. Yeah, default physical takes an extra line, but it ensures that I don't typo. Wait, hang on. Can I just... Am I being stupid? Can I... Oh, okay. I can also just fucking do this. Because I just need to get... I'm grabbing the key of the enumerator, not the value of the enumerator. So defense, damage types dot keys, damage types dot physical. Bit of a mouthful, but for the sake of ensuring I don't fuck up, I think that's fine. Okay, I'm going to go eat food. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Okay, so the 0 is coming after the soup 2. So this isn't getting printed. The 0 is not being printed from this, so... Can I... Can I search all scripts? Print damage types dot default. Ah, there. That's doing the 0, maybe. Okay, that was doing the 0. Okay, so get rid of that. Okay, so then we can add new add the defenses in the init portion of the specific enemy code. Okay, so test ant. The ant skeleton's not fucking doing anything. We're probably maybe going to have a unique class per enemy type that they all extend from enemy. Because I imagine there's a bunch of stuff that is shared between all of them. Or maybe we just have all of the enemies extend directly from entity. Because entity is going to have a lot of shit that is just shared by everything. I would do the enemy type difference in prefab. Swapping out the entire everything in prefab, that's... I don't think I'm following. Because, like, I don't see it being very feasible to make entire ass models and animations swappable from a single enemy prefab. I mean, you can probably do it, but it sounds very tedious and annoying. So you can change the mesh. Okay, well, my damage is now broken because we changed how that works. It's a, okay. Okay. I don't take damage. Attack damage. Okay, yeah, that's not going through. Okay, so we have physical 12. Take damage. Yep, string, integer. For I in damage dictionary, if I not in self-defense, then defense I equals 0. So if you don't have a value for that, you just set it to be neutral damage. Although, this should have had physical defense. Oh, but it has a shit ton of physical defense. It has 50 defense. And the player is currently doing 12 damage. Okay, well that's a separate issue. Glad we caught that. Okay, defense is 0. Damage minus defense. And then if it's less than 0, just stop. Actually, hang on. How about if it's less than or equal to 0, damage equals 0. There we go. Okay, so the fire wasn't registering because it just was getting deleted entirely. And the physical wasn't registering because the defense was too high. So if I go back here and drop this back down to a smaller number, yeah, minus 0. Although eventually I would like a settings menu where I can change some stuff, because I'd like to include something to where it calculates all of the damage and then displays a single number, versus as it's currently doing, displaying each individual damage type on its own. Damage display. I would also like to set color based on damage type. Which that should be doable with a match case. Although I do have to pass in the damage type. Oh, and we're dropping frames. Fun. Oh, we were dropping frames for a moment? Like just a big lag spike, and then we went back to normal, maybe? Yeah, okay. Tentative optimism. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave the damage display alone for now. Oh, right, matched. Go away. I think I want to make a torch. Okay, so cylinder mesh. Can I bottom radius? Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then rotate it slightly. Actually, no, don't rotate it, because each individual instance can get rotated on its own. Okay, so new surface material, albedo. I can never remember where brown is. Somewhere over here. Here we go. Roughness. Already has roughness. No specularity. That looks less like a torch and more like a poop. Okay. Light. Omnilight. Bring this up. Place it on top. Particle emitter? Ooh. Do not know if CPU or GPU would be better. Probably GPU. Nothing is old because meshes have not been assigned. A material to process the particles is not assigned. Huh? Okay, can we stop childing everything to the mesh instance? Okay, I would like a second mesh instance. This one's going to be a sphere. Oh. What's the top radius is 0.2 meters. There we go. And then make this into a nice, no, not, go to albedo. Make this into a nice orange. Nice bright orange. particles will emit from the top of it. Okay. Nothing is visible because meshes have not been assigned to draw passes. Draw passes. Pass 1. New point mesh? Material to process the particles is not assigned, so no behavior is imprinted. Oh. The meshes have not been assigned. Okay. Mm. Emitting... Emit a bunch, so I can actually see. Oh, there's no camera. Because it's possible. Trail's active, but neither trail meshes nor... Oh my goodness. It's possible that the stuff is only visible when it's actually running. Nope. Oh, there's the particles. Oh, they just weren't visible because there wasn't enough light, or... Oh, no, it was perfectly aligned with the y-axis. So I couldn't see it because there's no... like, dispersing. Okay, well, first things first, how the fuck do I disable gravity? Radial acceleration. Time. Use fixed seed. Interesting. Lifetime randomness. Emission shape offset. Okay, I need to change this from point mesh to something else. Sphere mesh. Okay. I suppose that's one way to do it. Okay, why do you have radius and height? You're a sphere. You're supposed to have a single value. That being radius. What the fuck? Okay, so 0.05, 0.1. Tiny little snowballs. Okay, so why are you going in a straight line? Okay, spawn position. Angle, velocity. Why is your position impacting the direction you move? Your spawn position should not be impacting that. Your spawn position is just where you come into existence. Okay, here we go. Velocity. Directional velocity. Linear acceleration. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Radial acceleration. Tangential. Here we go. Let's give them a little bit more of a lifetime. Hmm. Okay, why did you break? Oh, because, okay, one shot disables you entirely. Okay, well, what I want it to do is spawn it on and then shoot it out at a random direction. So, spawn position. And now it's not moving. I don't. I don't think I want. I think I want only linear velocity. Or acceleration. Directional velocity. This isn't doing anything. Oh, initial velocity. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Spread everywhere. Velocity pivot. Okay, lifetime 1 second. The amount of time each particle will exist. The effective emission rate is amount. Oh, amount? Oh my goodness, I just want to change how far they move before being deleted. I looked it up all I got was your streams. Uh, it's just it was a name suggestion by Yami. It's actually just Entoma is, I believe, Greek for insect. Protolimus is a combination of two Latin terms. Proto meaning first, and limus meaning slime. So it's more of an entomology reference rather than like an actual reference to some pre-existing thing. Insect the first slime, yes. Because like the current idea for the game is that you are playing as an insect that got infested by some like goopy thing, but for whatever reason it didn't kill you, and now you have amazing powers and stuff. But because humans be doing stupid dumb fuck, a lot of their shit got out, so now you have to go and kill it so it doesn't destroy everything. It's a rough idea, but that's the current plan. Alternatively, you were an insect that was being experimented on. But yeah, the general idea is that, uh, like similar to the Venom symbiote, you have just become one with whatever this thing is, and then it has granted you abilities to assimilate other instances of the goop so you can kill them, absorb them, take their powers for your own. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to make these particles stop being stupid. Because I want a lot of particles. I just want them to be kind of slow and kind of like. I guess maybe I could. Oh, yeah, no, that's going to help a lot. That's exactly what I want. Nice, nice. Okay. Wait, no. No, stop. Why are you going beyond the box? I thought the box was your home. Pointed here by my friend who recommended you after comparing this game to another game called Fly Night. I don't think I have heard of that. Is it on Steam? Fly Night. Only $6. Looks like the art style is inspired by RuneScape. Oh yeah, no, the art style is 100% inspired by RuneScape. Okay, I think I have seen this before. And by seen this before, I think someone's brought it up. It looks interesting. It's only $6. Why does the lifetime impact the emission rate? That's so stupid. Lifetime should be a per particle instance. The game got popular a couple months ago for its price and engaging combat. Ooh. Yeah, $6 price tag is pretty nice. Okay. Is it your first game? This is my first, like, serious attempt. I've tried doing game stuff before, but I guess I'm just, like, not super good at researching shit. Or something, because, like, I never really made much progress. What the heck is this, the mesh? Here we go. Now, can I make you really small? And then change the color to orange. Yeah, because that's totally what uh, little sparks off of a torch look like. Oh, this is garbage. What are you currently making? I'm trying to make a torch. It's not working very well. Like it would kind of like be in the wall slightly, and it would light up a room or a hallway. I'm imagining, uh, I'm actually gonna be use like matchsticks for torches. Like, there's probably some micro matchsticks that exist. Do you have references? Well, I mean, I have Google. Like this, I'm not like I'm not trying to make it look like what the final thing is. I'm just trying to throw something together and like learn the process. My coding instructor looks like they hopped out of the chat, so I am doing something else that is slightly more physical that I can actually grasp without knowing the syntax. Okay. I don't need the camera, it seems. So if I go to test level, can I... bring the torch in? Disable the test enemy. Oh, right, I forgot. Godot is stupid. This right here does not mean disable. This means to make it invisible. And I can't disable it. I don't think I can disable it. Disable mode? I assumed you were in the making it look good. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. The stage of development we are in right now is I am learning how to program. No, no, no. We are like fucking light years and light years and light years away from making it look good. How the fuck do I disable you? I only know how to code simple if statements in Scratch. Yeah, if statements aren't the most complicated thing in the world. Although I don't think I've ever messed with Scratch. I thought there was supposed to be like a little checkbox up at the very top that let me disable shit. Process mode. Oh, why the fuck is it hidden? Why is the off switch hidden behind like 2 drop-down menus? That should be like, disabling a node should be over here. Turning it invisible, that's... the fuck? That should not have such a high priority. Oh, you don't... it doesn't even make it go away. It just makes it stop processing. That is so... Godot, what is wrong with you? I have to manually turn it invisible and turn it intangible. Why can't I just turn it off entirely? Just get rid of it and then bring it back at the click of a button. such extremes, except they're justified and targeted. Indeed. Okay. Doop doop boop 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 boop. I feel like there should be a convenient way to just build basic geometry. Oh my goodness, turning it invisible doesn't disable its fucking collision. Its hitboxes. So I have it both disabled and invisible. Yet this is still loaded in the scene. Okay. Okay, make the light bigger. 1.5 maybe? No. Okay, that's... Okay, turn this into a star. Okay, this isn't spreading out anymore. Why are you not spreading out anymore? Wait, actually. Twitch is bugging? Twitch, why you bugging? Twitch looks fine on my end. Maybe try refreshing the page? Okay, I believe I should be able to... One moment. Okay, I should be able to adjust the stats here. Yeah, and watch it go up in real time. Okay. Okay, let's just increase the energy a fuck ton. So we can actually see which things... Being further away from the Wi-Fi made it worse. Yeah, that is a thing that could cause issues. Editor only. Oh, that's cool. You can... I guess this would be useful for adding invisible light sources that like are used for editing. Like, I guess if you're making like a dark area that the player is not going to have access to a light source, but as you're making it, you still want to be able to see shit. Okay, Omnilight. Ah, okay. It's just the fucking range variable. Gotcha. dual paraboloid. Okay, let's turn the energy back down to normal. Interesting. If you add new things to the scene, they don't get added in runtime. But if you it does. Gonna look. Okay. Have a good look. Yeah. And thank you for the luck. Sorry about the sinuses. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out the title screen. Because that feels like it shouldn't be super hard. Because I already... I already got it to where it does shit when you click on a thing. Go to change scene in code. Change scenes manually. Oh, okay. Okay, so... Okay, so loading a new scene is just adding that new scene. And then either deleting or just hiding the original scene. No, you're not gonna... Quotation marks? Okay, so... Maybe this will do a thing? No? Oh, I loaded the title screen. That's the wrong... There we go. It does not change which camera is the primary camera. Sprite 3D. Texture... Wait, no, not Sprite 3D. Just fucking label? Label 3D. Text. Transform. Actually, no. I don't need billboarding. I can just... Yeah. Just do that. And make it bigger. Okay. Resolution is super tiny. Oh, wait. Oh, that's registering on any click. Not just the left, not just the right mouse button. That registered on left click and middle click. Oh well, whatever. That is a thing that can be done later. Okay, so add child this, and then get node. Title screen. Should be node path. Oh, right. Oh no. Oh wait, it's in use? Okay. Hey! It automatically when the old camera is deleted, it automatically updates and swaps to a new camera. Nice. So, title screen, click play, and now you're in. Woohoo! Victory. No, give me my water. I desire to drink water. Okay. Is there anything else that I can do on my own? That was not the correct button. Okay, I got the title screen. I can click the box. I guess I could make it to where. No. I was I was gonna say I could make it to where when the player kills the enemy, they go to a new level, but that's not really how this genre works. I guess I could just do some cleanups. Yeah, because hmm. Function apply stats. Actually, no. Oh yeah, the enemy was supposed to fire a projectile, but that never ended up working. Okay, so class enemy. So it's firing a projectile every frame. Projectile.new 0 self and player position. Okay, so projectile ID is 0. Entity scenes, entities, projectiles. Okay, it has the mesh collision. Okay, so load it and then make it. Okay, so projectiles have a move, target position, minus original position, normalized by speed. Why? Why are you not exist? The enemy is firing the projectile every frame. Okay, projectile ID. Okay, so scenes, entities, projectiles. Maybe if I remove the add child. Okay, I'm gonna player. Okay, that's good. Okay, so it has a speed of 5. Let's slow that down. Although actually it shouldn't matter because it's spawning one every frame. Maybe it's just immediately deleting itself? Hmm. Okay, so it sets itself to this. Okay. Wait. Get node, magic orb, area 3D. No, that's not. That's not the issue. Okay, fuck. Okay, I think I'm missing something. And fuck, brain. Stop making me fall asleep. Okay. I think I can't make much more progress at this point, especially not in this mind state. So I think I'm going to call it a little bit early today. So, yep, thank you to the peoples, all of the peoples. Yeah, have good days.